Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So today I thought I'd talk to you about nutrition. And myself, I'm not one really to discuss this topic, as most of my life I have not been terribly nutritious. Um, it has only been since I've been in college that I tried and focused on making sure that I had a balanced meal and a balanced diet, and I watched what I ate, counting calories, making sure that I exercised, making sure that I stretched, all those things. About 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with diabetes. And diabetes has two types, there's type 1 and type 2. I have a particular diabetes that was brought on by diet, what I ate. I ate way too much of sugary foods, energy drinks, fatty foods, fast food, and basically junk food and candy. I ate that for many, many years of my life until I got this diagnosis. And what it means is that I personally can't produce what's called insulin by myself. My own spleen can't produce it. And therefore, my sugar gets very, very high in my bloodstream. And that affects things. That affects things like nerves, that affects eyesight, it affects my skin. Um, it affects my mood, my temperature, and my body. All kinds of things. It makes me feel very, very ill when I do have too much sugar. And so I have to do certain things to be able to combat this. And I wish when I was a kid, somebody really taught me of the dangers of eating too much of this stuff, putting too much of that bad stuff in your body. But now I have to do some things to be able to monitor. So the first thing I have to do is every time that I eat, I have to stick myself with a needle and monitor on here how much sugar that my body has. And typically, I want anywhere from 90 to 120 milligrams of sugar in my body at any time. If I'm too high than that, it means that I need to exercise. But typically, right after you eat, it does go higher. And so, exercise is something that you need to do, especially if you're a diabetic. Now, the other thing I need to do every single morning is I have to stick myself with a needle. And so, and I have to give my body insulin. And so that's what this is. This is an insulin pen. And I have to use this in my body in order to make sure that my body has the insulin it needs to take the sugar out of my bloodstream. Now, you might say, well, I don't like needles. That's not something I really enjoy. Hey, guess what? I didn't either when I was a kid. And it was just something that um, I had to learn to live with now because I made certain choices. Some other things I have to do is I have to take vitamins. That's something that I have to do because my skin gets extremely dry, um, just because I produce way too much sugar and not enough insulin. Same thing, I have to use lotion, and a special lotion for that dry skin. Otherwise, my skin does crack and it gets all messy and stuff. Now, I already have bad eyesight, but I have had bad eyesight since I was a little kid. I have astigmatism. But the diabetes causes my eyes to dry out because I'm not able to produce that insulin. And therefore, that insulin isn't allowing me to hydrate. I get very dehydrated very fast. And so I have to use eye drops, and I have to use these all the time in order to make sure that my eyes, particularly, are wet enough and produce the right amount of liquid to keep them dry. Now, these things I've managed and I've been able to do for the last 12 years, and it's just something that I live with now. But I have gotten better. I mean, my walking has caused or allowed me to get control of this disease that I do have. And hopefully one day I'll be able to not be on it. I used to take other medication too, and I don't have to anymore because I've gotten under control. There are some things that you can do though. And the main thing is that you can look at the foods that you're eating and look at the amount of sugar that you're eating. Sodas, probably not the best thing to do. However, there are diet options and there are options that contain zero sugar that you are able to have. I mean, those things, you can drink and have less side effects than if you drank an actual Coke or a sugary drink. Now, candy, I still love candy, but finding candy that is, of course, sugar free. That's another available option that you have. Something that you're able to do that, is a little bit more safe for your body. Instead of real sugar, again, using Splenda. Splenda is an excellent option for those that do have issues with sugar and need that sweetness in their life. Those are things that are alternatives. So I just wanted to share this with you because nobody did share it with me when I was younger. And both of my parents have diabetes. My dad had diabetes. And it's just something that, a vast percentage of the population does have. Um, and I want you to be informed and know what that information is. So thank you very much for listening.